You know, for almost 200 years, one publication has stood right at the center of the global economic conversation. But just recently, there was a huge shift in its ownership, the biggest in a decade, actually. And it makes you wonder what the future holds for this influential fortress of news. The news really sent a ripple, a quiet one, but a powerful one, through the worlds of both finance and media. A brand new player now has a seat at the table of The Economist. So the big question is, who is it? And the answer is a Canadian billionaire financier. Now, what makes this move so interesting, so fascinating, is that his entire background is outside of media. This suggests he's playing a very different kind of strategic game here.
Okay, so let's break down the details of this ownership shift. This is a really big deal. We're talking about the first major change to the magazine's entire structure in more than 10 years, and that has some pretty significant implications.
So here's the deal. Stephen Smith, using his family office, Smith Financial, is buying a 26.9% stake from the de Rothschild family. Now, this is way more than just a financial transaction, right? It's a transfer of some serious influence from one incredibly powerful family to another. So, that brings us to the man himself, Stephen Smith. Who is this guy? And why would a man who literally built an empire on mortgages suddenly decide to invest in a global media powerhouse? It's a bit of a head-scratcher. I mean, just look at his profile. It is deeply, deeply rooted in Canadian financial services. His whole world is mortgages, insurance, credit. You see a theme here. What you don't see is global media. That makes this move all the more surprising. Yeah, this isn't just a simple case of diversification. This is a strategic leap into a totally new arena. It's pretty clear that Smith is after a different kind of value here, one that you can't just measure in financial returns.
To really get what Smith sees in this deal, we have to understand what he's buying. Because The Economist is so much more than a magazine. It's a fortress of influence.
The influence of The Economist. It all starts with its readers. We're talking 1.3 million global subscribers. And this isn't just anybody. This readership includes some of the most powerful people in business, finance, and politics all over the world.
And get this, it's not some struggling publication just getting by on its old reputation. No, it is a financial powerhouse. With an operating profit of nearly £50 million, it's both influential and incredibly successful. But here's the real secret sauce, the core of the fortress. Its ownership structure is meticulously designed to protect its editorial independence, to prevent any single person or group from getting control. This is its most valuable asset. So, how does a new billionaire shareholder fit into that picture? We'll take a look at the new breakdown. Italy's famous Agnelli family is still the largest shareholder, but Stephen Smith is now the clear number 2. So while he may not have outright control, he definitely has a powerful new voice in a very, very exclusive room.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because what Smith is doing, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of a much bigger global trend of billionaires seeking out a new kind of asset, influence.
And there's a name for this strategy. It's called dynastic capital. It's basically a pivot away from the high-risk, high-reward world of tech stocks and towards stable, legacy institutions. The goal here isn't a quick buck. It's to acquire something way more durable, influence, and what's called information capital. That's a strategic edge you get from having access to exclusive information and networks. The motivation here goes way beyond just owning a famous brand. It's about getting unparalleled insight into global economics and policy. It's about building a network of influence among the world's elite. And it's about getting that information capital. You know, the inside track on what's happening, why it's happening, and who's making it happen. So when you put all these pieces together, the financier, the fortress, and this global trend, what you see is a really powerful signal about the future of media and influence. I mean, think about the world we live in. We're drowning in information, misinformation, disinformation. In that kind of environment, what's the most valuable and scarcest resource? It's trust. And an institution like The Economist, with nearly 2 centuries of credibility, is one of the purest forms of that asset you can find.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. This isn't some short-term financial play. It's a long-term investment in institutional longevity, influence, and information capital. It is a textbook example of dynastic capital in action, a play for a kind of power that outlasts any market swing.
All of which leaves us with one final, critical question. The Economist's fortress, as we said, was built to make sure no one person could ever own the story. But as this new generation of dynastic capital moves in, you have to ask, in the future of news, who really holds the pen?